something that should have been out of the window, because I thought it was amazing. I saw it, was the documentary Best Shot. How did that come about, and how you feel about it?
Man, it was great, man. I mean, I even shed a few tears just watching it on the screen. You know what I'm saying? But and about 6 years ago, I was in my store. I wasn't even open yet. It was around June 2017, and some lady walked up. Now I don't know how she found out where I was at, and she was like, "Are you Coach McCray?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "I want to talk to you." She had like an Australian accent, and she was like, "Yeah, we want to do a documentary on you." So I'm like, you know, now my street sense is kicking in, like. Like, who are you? What you mean you want to do a document? Where you from? Who you representing? Like, documentary
Exactly.
about what? You know what I mean? So we got to talking, and she was like, "No, it's a basketball documentary. It's going to be an NBA guy involved." I never knew who was involved until it actually happened. And she said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you a number to the producers, and they're gonna call you in 2 weeks." She asked me about my team, what type of team I got coming back. Do I think we're gonna be competitive? And I had a good team coming back, so I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be competitive. I got good players, whatever." So she was like, "Well, somebody's gonna reach out to you in 2 weeks." 2 weeks from that day, they called me, said we're gonna set up a meeting on Skype. That's when they had the Skype set up. They ain't had no all this
Zoom.
stuff now, the WebEx and the Zoom and all that. You had to go on Skype and do all this other stuff. So I met with some producers, and no, actually I'm lying. They called me, they said, "We coming out there." I said, "Coming, what you mean you coming out here?" He's like, "We flying out from California." So now I'm like, "California? What you mean?" He's like, "No, we producers from California. We doing," and I'm like, "Oh, this must be some real stuff." Like, you know what I'm saying? So they came to the waterfront. They said, "We're gonna be there at 12 o'clock. So I'm sitting there. We had the camp going on. So I'm sitting there. I was doing like the checking the kids in, but I'm sitting. I see two white guys walk up. It's like 11:58. I'm like, "Damn, this motherfucker's here at 12 o'clock." Like, so we talking, and they the dude already said, "Yeah, you know, we heard about you, blah 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 blah. We're doing a documentary about basketball with a coach that has ties to his community." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Yeah, but only thing is, it's a coach from Brooklyn, it's a coach from Philly, and yourself that we looking at." So I'm like, high school coaches, they like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Oh, wow." So in my mind, I'm thinking Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Newark. You know, Brooklyn and Philly, it seems like they got more national recognition than we do here in the city of Newark. So at the time, I'm thinking they're not going to pick me. So then I met with the producers. They left and they set something up, said, "You're going to meet with another producers in 2 weeks." So I got on the Skype. It's about 8 people in the room, and they asking me all types of in-depth questions, and I'm answering them. I mean, I can't sugarcoat nothing. I'm telling them, answering the best of my ability. So at the end, they like, "Coach, we'll get back to you." So I'm like, "Okay, did I get it?" And they're like, "Coach, we'll get back to you." So I'm like, wow. So they had me in limbo for like 10 days. They called like the end of August, and they was like, "We're gonna do Central." And I'm like, word. Still at the time, I ain't know LeBron had nothing to do with it. I ain't know Jay Will was gonna be a part of it.
Yeah.
And they had to get clearance from no public schools and all that they was coming in. And the first day they came, man, I saw all this equipment. I said, "Oh nah, this is
This is real
real. Like
thing.
this ain't no like Joker walking around with one camera, filming you and making a documentary." They had their own hallway where they had so much equipment. I'm like, wow, they had cameras everywhere. But long story short, it was great doing it. The kids loved it. I mean, they were never in the way. I never nothing was staged. Everything that was shot was real time, stuff. Sometimes I forgot I was mic'd up. I'll be bugging on the sideline when I'm coaching. So just to hear myself and see myself on the screen, and I'm like, wow. But what really humbled me was like, I've been saying this stuff for 20, 30 years, and finally somebody captured it on the screen. Like all the stuff I've been saying, it's just been different kids placed in front of me, but the message always been the same, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the situation. And I was just happy to see that, man. I got to go to Miami for free. I got to go to Cali for 4 days for free. Like, just to see how these people live. And it's like, people really living life, man. And it bothers me sometimes because people really struggling too, like, and it's like, how is people able to live life like that while people really like
Going
struggling.
through it.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's weird to me, but it's a good feeling to be a part of it sometime. But then reality, because they like, coach, you want to stay a couple more days? This was when I was in Cali. I'm like, nah, I gotta go back to work, man. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta go back to reality. Like, this is all great, but this ain't, you know, I had like a stipend every day, you know, to spend money or whatever.
Yeah.
But nah, I gotta go back to work. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff I gotta take care of. I'll be, you know, some people were like, yeah, I'll stay out here as long as you want me to. Nah, I don't have that luxury. I can't do that. I got things I got to put in place. I got things I got to do. But it was a great experience, man. Just, you know, I never met Jay Will until he walked into the locker room that day in the documentary. That was my
Yeah.
first time ever meeting him. I knew him as a player,
Yeah.
but I never, you know, met him as an adult. And it was great, man. The people were great, man. They was going to do part 2, but then COVID hit.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what happened after that, but they haven't really reached out. Now they talking maybe 5 years just to see where all the kids at.
Yeah.
Cause you know, cause Quan and Hottie, man, everybody, everywhere I went, they love them. The two people they love, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The
It was a
sentimental
beautiful.
people, yeah, but the sentimental people always asked about Isaiah. How's Isaiah doing?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because of his situation. But you know, they all doing good, man. I done got them some couple of dollars. We done went to a few places and spoke about Best Shot, and they done got paid for it and things like that. So
Yeah.
actually, Quan wrote a script with the director of Best Shot, and they reached out to me and was like, "You." The director said, "I want you to read the script. I trust your you know, I trust your judgment and what you would say about it." And he's like, "We're gonna pay you to read it." I said, "You're gonna pay me to read?" So you know, this stuff be all new to me
Yeah.
because
Right. You like y'all
every
they
but
paying.
everything people do in life, it's a price on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, I'm so used to just doing things, you know, money come, it come. If it don't, you know, whatever, you know, I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
But people
man.
really didn't pay it. I said, "You're gonna pay me to read a script?" I read it. It was a good script too. So they shopping it around now. Actually, Quan wrote it. He just helped them out with it. And you know, maybe something good to come out of it, you know.
And